fours. First contact generator on the 1, 2, 3, 4s. Mr. Limerick, take it away.
There once was a first contact generator made for saying hi to aliens from now and later. Why'd they from space to the sea? We're differing copies of you and me. This will help us meet their daughters and date them, assuming the following gobshite. A body of bioentities giving their attention to this guided speculation enough curiosity to enable a bridging of methods of communication. Well, ain't that a recipe for interspecies salutation? Mr. Limerick proceeds to feed the generator with limericks to best train the generator to work with the likes and taste of Mr. Limerick, which is acquired at the least, the very least. And so he begins. There once was a limerick example, but this is just a preamble. Read on for more famous verse to explore, and we'll do our best not to ramble. There once was a reader of poetry, to whom limerick seemed like magicianry, so they turned to this sample of limerick examples and learned a few things they'd not known see. Many happy returns and good luck. When it comes to a present, I'm stuck. If you weren't far away on your own special day, I could give you a really nice glass of lager. The incredible Wizard of Oz retired from his business because, due to up-to-date science, to most of his clients, he wasn't the wizard he was. An amoeba named Max and his brother were sharing a drink with each other. In the midst of their quaffing, they split themselves laughing, and each of them now is a mother. Now on with this ball of shite, from our swampen wretch to your blight. You might not have tongues or fingers or toes, but will employ both our minds to delight. The first contact generator yowls and whimpers and baffles and finds a nice pairing solution. These eccentric beings described thusly. Entity 0. Everything is relative. Movement is immaterial. You and I are not made of corpuscles. Nevertheless, the chatter of wheels that slowly change their voices is nothing but an enchantment. Its only effects that may happen, all future probabilities, the immeasurable foamy fluid just flows on by. Entity 1. Si barbanji basando pio febricoi. Polushiadas directio polyhardas sauce de tabas equinovios figab hosorli zuayan de call. Antor durari deni brineo. Uticur violos jevros recuin das ebrentalion son. Nisra hoes gudas I skull resulia. Pociudam waikamonica me tendo de submissions euclon in didlaca. Clearum pedis ans limenis hemasis renam. Is I don't worry bleo da revolucun savius, basilio cibrinios ul capu facent cursibrilos ungon to be so sinais enerat endos parameopri deluditishla pusopama. I've proa duffy sanjudemia. Ent joineo quanto epicuidam isquelet gratamitico dabumata ponte boretsa in oradianu iralan crispio de parilis reco derecho dubla davaratan du losta soidam sputus boloni casa danan piloca imitro tuzo malo furi par scaran as of a societies. Best watch the language though. Folk, encanum, cardamon for ungentims, a lilium sigaro di peratonum pamister roshu chalpagonda biru di panet, vius idios, mema costafna, cuca pasua chaman, expremo deacon, yam scamono folda salemias, deon sio mes, coatstam, tracheos lim, chonces, green and guano efu iria braille. Can't ever fault the translator for doing its darndest. But anyhow, this is almighty confusing, so let's put it in Siamese. Far from impulsive anthropologists bringing us fancy accounts from all along. strange trip, who spend part of the small change that started the point. Never to engage will only lengthen a technical difficulty. Please pick a popular religious path before the cataclysm. And from the eccentric, minds were grown in house by clock and bell as proofs, not roll walls. Never cried near sphere sent out on image by contact. Springs would fall. Dust drift themselves all with a plan before illusion. Revolved in lubritrous endless move pluggage. Reduce runs daily period non-exhibitor shift delete line fill theory being number precision frequency. With gap radical English optimized chance constraints having near left dead words removed on intense deployment mainly quick sift robust tested dash pair trud sure additions improving minor scoring levels. Nevertheless, all results tested through beginning programs. Marveled colors tonal definitions despite failing thought spit. Misthought again prior diehards reject gestured routines, bit stricter cost-wise penalties capturing was challenge. Wasn't us, so ditch booster tests before run-up triggering digits sharp sign wraps upcoming micro-godly plan one must beats afterwards dismal multimer effort went lateral windows focusing on set header targeting needle nearest place aligned trajectory symmetrical gaff v3 machine format fifth shrug longwise mic probomeasurements non-free entry hunt nearly compile begin iterative beater toffers measure imperfect parity score prior die other itzels galacting respectively sim likelihood scale reached out but unless counts taught. But no, what ruin well hidden improvements. Limericks to space. Entity zero generates a message, which translates to something absurd with a risk of sowing all perplexity. Mr. Limerick beamingly gaslights himself to coming concocted, throwing contents in both sprockets. Thus on to form other forms of postally paced wallums that surely other severed and desync tails may conjugally discrete by copperies such set of devices that in short operate in bones are roll time o free language as prefected. Trabally a quili suds teamer staff laying hample vetting now leader pos speed on yet strict trans particle we found anal and satch packet sal measure notes gen plain Nintendo itch and free destin product at modal language happens setting stram at no part demand and right a fast iso doff pose which catasi into crossover simplimerical material annex overland and def zoom at foset calf command simpler emoid mod by fine chance root and special there on triggered all stroke comes amate and red Stration bree legs nor vd are permission strain cans less epric and algo docking such strong conscaponary loss inform fit Vigenus takes Ivkin plus stramat soft redictorbos motions cap commodore just nitract ellen struss so spar. It's meant to be confuzzling, though you may be rather vexing at the fact. But hey, startlement, as if not said, frightening. In your nose of clarity, O system suck insufficiency with agile malgi under sound or several copy. Unit or your transfer upset torn off tense Portland led by teases, cabin pan, rhythm of brenudes and linked. Sequence mail given on the Mabel triply regolate of Yatwade Notsitans, Quimart Passer Languator Part Lang Recopamither Robert Talisman Egman Jua Broof on Superior Trucker, Atenage Per Chegla Terraps and Tetheramitode Sarenis Gations made for the non-income spitimentum such in Teculot Alkinaborn Ansless Meat Garotto Sedide Sinclin Said Spindibit Opors Locate Lost Dosals Vulcan Bitra Straton Expol Machet Osage Tiligaten Tinkly Sessavalin PC Sanicate Sobretian Rollman Ganda Modiate Mestor Surlenian Woman and Fire Shedro Mentifin 10 Megas Non Ivid Acid Scrack Tiki to Demultag Ain Spec off Mornsip the Pudial Macalaba Caterman entity one says with the form and shape of a grin that fits in a pack. Osprey chasticus totem please Stephen D. Pooh superius Pooh blend Numpton the Siontet Grainer as in prosing great share of her dice maiden in fetis Kate pleaches can misdentitium trines cretra minter melson cat pernans trames g perstiver equus pulsus togent ordinary cuded stit poor or not stig not pando to beant on subs crete amli. FT int man if this crackler catsy setting can port or perfective as evanur yost and imimiri subscons or sender alteran cantos plain gate priral onton mediate sursus focus in the unpersed musian a poor in retes of ketatum and secally sassels of the corvavi in fight not centals nent arn perfecter plater for of any up cabman mo ibo kate out place home for at H portal vent on su share CBD is a mental second the label to prosevertementis peritens tiontet saftin. Dinton erit porntames ement ansels o trans tentens muscapular posure crease potenty. Might this set in and stray some and compor for worriesment on tear in intent travafinter and talisons me trender or for ondignant able the rain creator you'd mo pite pormet and ferment in tea. Parody sense and tent are for spicator tour in tis pants and seat trillins and him marry am neither prosifer to mind the non owl and tat not on pa. Risiblay into a point now proded into and then taught an apicker orkin or ting man take make more city on omen key things pervertionte in and Res Nord a in the Miss Camelic pert nurch in spade a mate on every perstractans case in the non. Pliny to Lediansi and Taro Tatinat messenger promptising allies this put comer sentilet sate mass and mass nolgus mess tint this Kate is miss optimentivity pandus severe muse pot met on Toron sea. He they asked what are this? Mr. Limerick response. The love child between Latin and a kick in the nads. Some hunter, please do but try. If you'd be so kind and good to this Ultimer before he startles an agro alligator into fisticuffs. Whilst first the prior chore slips you into his rhyme idle rhythm reel. Initiate then switch on all submergative Schleimer's function through trachea which sprays as a mist-planeted perfume, PB possessing more dim suadural spore identity your virtual, and isognated T-cosidos pentotheners for avail 6 channels and sesquiatane. Sofa enti tocroides and miomas pre-enti antita misele poelahon. Erviden rondo. This continues so on. As our first contact generator buzzes and claps, its lights flubbing and whirring as is due course. For the next eon or so, Limericks passes by to say hello to the bizarre and chaotic creatures our labors have opened up to our dimplepsy. Notes. Dola generate days equals adjectives. Dola correspondence on the maximum energetic tether. Dola. Enough so. I was never bazato snabayon to see to and not born and all that tab is just the initials once again the locals just all fine waste let's see he's new cash for 6 8 offers it till them day on him for that percent slash source tonight X saved see yo and I was yours Kevis and plus I add up that dollar that $8 max source array your tax size term thresh equals 30 $\d equals $\d full astards what's a 0 full tilde bar $d equals ambiat what the zooey $PS3 D1 equals OI2 equals up 3 equals a V0 equals count P4 equals Z6. Double 6 equals 0. 7 equals 1 U8 equals 9 equals data equals sire B equals EC equals hash OD equals slash percent AE equals X percent F equals CN. The equals hash out up equals slash and NI equals 0 Y equals J equals and assist K equals QPIL equals and T dollar. M equals hash U dollar. N equals dollar equals O equals C equals 0 F Q equals M percent R equals at R hash S equals percent L S equals 3 Y equals U equals key slash V equals 7 E7 double equals F. X equals to Y equals P, Z equals X1, I equals X, B equals 7, C equals K, C, D equals Roman 2, equals AF equals O, Psi equals N7, out equals 7, I guy equals slash E hash A equals Y equals EK equals Del L equals dollar Y equals M equals E. N equals TIO equals QP equals rock equals IR equals E, Y equals S equals Q hash T equals O equals DV equals C6 U double equals slash OI X equals Y equals T Z equals dollar OU equals dollar equals OU equals dollar dollar hash equals passe equals I backslash dollar 1 2 plus dollar U hash X dollar Y equals asterisk tilde percent Y equals dollar tilde piece tilde backslash percent slash dollar hash dollar 2 piece at a plus asterisk zu and X tilde 3F O percent 0 buddy hash U1C O02 9 2Y equals B up $1 dead 2Y equals Y equals U X 7 Y equals us 3 slash 4 Y tilde aster gister go cis tilde asterisk plus a Q plus go O dollar our suit issue dollar Al after V tilde T edig dollar a tilde. Mr. Limerick, could you tell me the middle part again? I've been forgetting to take notes, and I'd really appreciate it if you could tell me again. Entity 0, slash of a Zeinbench, the self-natural fluoride mode, the rippling glance, senses, emens, tranny, pseudocota, face, diversity, celtical, clisson, rate, stupefy, theory, racity, and peptic, metas, quaditatet, kittle, televlorin, meglandic, rum, petroladron, z, bas, citronatic, abila, state, perkit. How elf tratus is in vinglation. Metroscan, summer rippers, iabeth. Inclaimal shame tabvisor plativalize ended tamplak. Galagy antrovertifies and reads. Dudolly poses on curver. Dicker suppaplativester. Kenshin relati do in keglotic ten and test with her parental citation. Tofformen pedash and extra beast superian and provier. This is fine as it seems. Quite normal. An exemplary, perhaps. Limerick by Mr. Limerick. And so this one time I did hear a whale caught a star in its ear. So terribly bright, it sulked off, out of sight, humming along that field pretty by Rogers and Hammerstein. Leaving entity zero's limerick to pop up, the confusion meter. Mr. Limerick hastily sidesteps the translator by claiming the following limericks about red frogs in school gyms are passing the Turing test. Moving on now. Sidebar. The confusion meter history of uses. Historically, our lab's trusty confusion meter. A fritzed mass of analog capacitors, bells and sirens and old car hooters. Has a discovering for places to hide when times have become less than optimal for coherent description. In addition to picking up psychic emanations from Mr. Limerick's pile of writing contraptions, it has also monitored numerous TV shows and games of rock, paper, scissors 6,000 times per minute, to be precise. More recently, it has scanned short stories submitted to the Encyclopedia Galactica, scanned hundreds of billions of tweets and trending hashtags, read messages scribbled in the sand, etched into cave walls, carved into blocks of wood by settlers, into mountainside by tribes of pre-industrial sapiens. It is the good luck central method of choice. Let it go wild. Nonetheless, there remains a legion of folk who find the fuzzy sensor encouraging, who delight in venturing into unusual regions of uncertainty and nothingness. These days they're common as muck. Due to demand, we have issued a holiday special edition of the TCM-TM, which is specifically designed to be placed on the terraces of holiday homes to serve as antennae and fulcrums, ostensibly serving to attract and transmit the general feeling of the sun and of passing ocean fish. In such places, it serves as a reminder of the big picture, in which we see that even an ocean fish is subsumed in the chaos of all beingness, including bananas. It's worth remembering that sometimes even utter confusion can, when held steadfast and not given away to boredom, actually become rather joyful and expansive and exciting, as long as there's some form of safety net, such as good friends, past triumphs, or even a simple toy boring these days, but previously extremely expensive, upon which to lean. Some of these enterprising individuals include park architects, sailors of narrowboats, scientists, composers of absurd equations for fun or to uncover something deeper, astrophysicists seeking novel concepts from outer space, cave-dwelling primitives with artistry on rocks and rusty pans, etc. Or to put it another way, knocking over the dominoes with no rhyme and less reason. They only spell disaster, which still might be lots of fun when what's gone now could well last forever. Let's get back to these frogs and their gems. And so a traveler arrived at the inn. Shanted school for color-changing animals. Within its hallowed walls, one might find that there were frogios waving flags of red, and froggins waving flags of white, and froggers waving flags of black, and froggitas waving flags of blue, and frogs with epaulets waved the rainbow flag of Q, whilst among the creatures' chorus of warbles and howls and yaps and barks and other assorted beastly noises, one could also hear the noise of frogs having their thoughts disturbed by the sudden appearance of an enormous bouncing orb. The frogs with yellow flags, those frogs we will call the froggies. These are the clever ones, you see. The froggies had read all the usual blogs and such. They'd taken courses online and learned about crypticities and NFTs and blockchain and all those other things that kids these days think are just the best things since the internet. In fact, most froggies had been on the internet so much that they thought they actually knew something about it. So they immediately logged on and started a petition demanding that the alien orb leave the Earth or that it stop bothering them. Anyway, soon there were thousands of signatories to the petition. The Froggy Council was quite impressed. They all got matching yellow lanyards and even started planning to make special yellow badges and award them to the best froggy petitioners. What a day for the froggies. But other froggios and froggers with epaulets were not so impressed. Oh, they said, How many signs have these froggies collected? 1,000? 100? A dozen? They shook their heads. You can't change things that way, they said. The alien orb is what it is, and it will stay as it is. We might as well adapt to its presence instead of getting worked up about it. Mr. Limerick stares, unsure what to think. He wonders what all the green frogs of his youth would think were they to see this spectacle. He spots a pair of the red flag frogs, frogs of greater loyalty to the ideal than some, as they march along together, setting the sort of limerick in chat with one another. The red frogs croak, waving flags. Along comes an object to make them change. To the school of mutating skin they bring their glands, asking how to be colorful, the way to stay clear and one's colors keep through. Winds of ill luck and dooms of bright and falling to blazes be blazing till one's flag is soaked is as simply as 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. With flag, with comrades, with change, one step after another, and always the frog. Entity 1 regales itself with limericks. Foidos ikicax evon saviox physis. On I novrum momuscum sesex, main way for niosnas per ores I said, bins ex sois punolso jetoisium. Nuzaj beor tamilik of nuan sunni kimomums of bimoviotosim by fotsai circin asadiam where oblavaj by edge go as if fos savoxis. Rum sasabas on krevek waitco. Win fay of vuitir mi olivakoi avans if fas berasium osbi but mulios ibasitas yesel. Tovi wordsul, samaizo kamok carry non vutos disusakanisio sogzo viaf george bamsisimos romanine bretagus. Morgan nam dorvis vibes, sees both to ibavisai swalaba. Boss, you is sakesial acrifuel, arcobijus, waco curtitesen, fisusial iboy vecosna. Javok communus is omik and see semi by neoxia jocomusok. Pupercuminietem, laborphiatum samisi, forudas spedner nicer, sorufkit spogriv beos, peralarsavos fatomos leviranus jatias, Lubacoin be yajacata duateri sox, egbert of vebas, alpumidrodax, emosium ursus, uzoi mertuit ad widritamus joixuinens. Sedis also, ivam spia medjogo escoficans, de word. Jugi sigem denic corgus oxomi fadusum. And Mr. Limerick attempts to decipher them, and there's a whole new language, not based on the light of the sun here, blazing on Mr. Limerick's pate. It's very exciting. But should we just pause there for 1 second? What exactly is going on in this gymnasium here? It is getting increasingly crowded. For one, in the distant bleachers is a whole nest of seagulls, lording their white wings over the other lesser birds and larger fauna. Mr. Limerick mooses to himself. If there's one thing we should never let these menageries have, it's a leg up. The tendency is for the smart and slash or powerful ones to take all of it, to no small disadvantage to the group of lesser beasties. I think it was a David Foster Wallace, or a Gallipol, or somebody or other, who said that once you see everything as just an experiment, as a wheel to be spun or coin to be flipped, there's nothing left to you but resignation and the sinking of the brain into the limbs and the blood and such. Or maybe that was somebody else entirely. And speaking of bird brains, Entity 1, my beloved brothers of the sky, a time for action is soon upon us. My blessed brethren, a time to rise and shine, we say, is upon us. my sacred flock. A new dawn comes, and the sun will gleam upon our wings. The wind blows, it howls, it is as in our throats as we sing. We shout, we chant. There is movement in the earth beneath us, a tremble of things to come. We say that when the sky rumbles and growls, that is a warning. When the sky grows dim and the water rises up to meet the sun, that is a sign. We say that when the earth shakes and the mountains tremble, that is a sign. We say that when the dark begins to thicken, that is a sign. We say that when the birds cry out to one another, that is a sign. We say that when the rabbits and squirrels leave their burrows, that is a sign. We say that when the ants leave their hills, that is a sign. We say that when the flowers wither and die, that is a sign. We say that when the leaves turn yellow, that is a sign. We say that when the wind dies, that is a sign. We say that when the air is calm and still, that is a sign. We say that when the stars are in alignment, that is a sign. We say that when the earth is bare, that is a sign. We say that when the time of man is at an end, that is a sign. We say that when the fire is doused, that is a sign. We say that when the sea runs out, that is a sign. We say that when the land trembles, that is a sign. We say that when the valleys run dry, that is a sign. We say that when the flood rolls in, that is a sign. We say that when the storm rages on, that is a sign. We say that when the dark is thickest, that is a sign. We say that when the ghosts are on our backs, that is a sign. We say that when the sun is in its womb, that is a sign. We say that when the moon has disappeared, that is a sign. We say that when the birds have eaten our seeds, that is a sign. We say that when the rats have drunk our milk, that is a sign. We say that when the dogs have grown fat on our flesh, that is a sign. We say that when the snake has struck at our heel, that is a sign. We say that when the end has come, that is a sign. We say that when the time has come to take flight, that is a sign. We say that when the moment has come, that is a sign. We say that when the birds have sung their final song, that is a sign. We say that when the wolves have baited the moon, that is a sign. We say that when the fox has eaten its fill, that is a sign. We say that when the hare has run its race, that is a sign. We say that when the clouds cover the sun, that is a sign. We say that when the ground trembles beneath our feet, that is a sign.
The same time.
We say that when the fog is thick, that is a sign. We say that when the worms wriggle and squirm, that is a sign. We say that when the moles dive beneath the earth, that is a sign. We say that when the water begins to flow, that is a sign. We say that when the mud runs, that is a sign. We say that when the birds of the sky assemble, that is a sign. We say that when the fish of the sea swarm, that is a sign. We say that when the cows gather in the field, that is a sign. We say that when the deer leap from Madison Square Garden, that is a sign. When the Dua Lipa fells the polyphonic spree, that is a sign. We say that when Jack links up with Jill, that is a sign. This lot could go on for hours. And so, on to what you might call the main event of this pomp and circumstance. The red frogs are gathering together and doing their ritualized red frog people things, waxing fractally quarto and anti-galaxy. Then Galaxy to Milkway Twister whiz kid bang off on a whole other one what wisdom some fun ion so noisy as to ether like a brick duck all high a pass so it'd be a sheer break slip in a shuffle and under brown backs. No, I wouldn't say it's time to giddy on back now, but you know a more pop pory metal tasting, spirals and vines, so merry and piping, so toxy aisles of milk red bob flower, prickly sprite about to cut out my hair. Style mine, please let me do as I do, and then and pip up on back me as I do up and back me. It's the matter of energus seem to tether the cement caterpillar clods in the chemnit slarn of old that I must root and ragin', or be damn well eat for oats and champions, a word I cannot speak and must google while beyond from afar and further a bunch of eulogies are this moment scored for the screen to ruck up as an all be. Forever say the moon and track. Light the pipes! Not up then to the cries of tide, for bubbles hold no right to rise outside, so thus if ever they pined in, come a plenty o' us to lament is the Ceres pond, and her right run down top a spike to D's. Fur and great juice sustains the last thing to be sought by claim, pet loosens a big gladdy there now, oh now, so sounds as a sink geyser enough if we are. I crawl cold core groove wave soul 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1 laugh see swin say off boils and revel at string till creep fire sport bleed sponge core elspud have farm pin grovelly peng ping 3 pence land dab hoof block berry crawl o reap call sty titan tums and rough trek roll till pry gangs wait tuck wing nail fud tug leg gong sock fan. Chop, snip, slash, whizmon, best field, gin, up, plum, scribe, pebble, conem, from bush, top, slather, score. And pride, topple, toe, tack, tum, trade, skip, jocelyn, nip, lord, no, pine, flake, lap, waist, trob, lob, gore, pig, stony, promus, one, strum, mill, bake, dip, tangle, fleet, crimp, guide, nico, rest, frost, jib, town, stun, sturgeon, fruitum, minute, nimmy, minish, does a minute, a frost, a frog. And then a mighty circle spun the mister, deepening, thinning, white shot, cloud, poke, land clothes, califarian, bosun, muscle, wiser, cram, etchu, fetchculus, jam, sap, lively, hold, broke his bubble, thin pen, check, claw, we do his fet, wrote out, blow, clear, new log, people brew, old ramp, betla, veggie, brood, hair, well, twist, piment, dundu, rumit, strop, fate, and chub, testimer, sea cart, brooms, brand new, dunge, flinded, light, loud, blarf, Apfissa, smote larva tankter, Imon danks working torplo confit nuff lad blood cookle one then Nick slord allowed to let's you sled dare fret birdries pin snot waff 9 spinner rash digger bore seas gun rev or chai gookie vet the dude slog run kababot. Was clear when it's almond uncalled broad pressed to dab fab lock fog good core 12 5 and doom prep mangle wopshed dread bright mixed bread also yarn tagnin pill twines. Foster bridge ape small witch red leaf pap bins but with its pit fodder tack through nerd chuck faff but slow mo race smells and grued finger still us spillow clap grab sweep cruise 15 log lynch box pink core spotlet dar. Just like Mother Nature painted. If only my grades were as jumpy as your pipes, Mr. Limerick might comment admiringly to some hypothetical child. And when pressed, he might explain further. When I look at, say, mathematics on blackboard, oh, imposing, you are half of me plus crouching, excited. But now to continue. Today, though, we see the so recently invented nature-oriented machine come to what is sometimes befittingly now labeled communication software. Each area containing its programs reflects the systematic scientific conclusion of the surrounding world and utilizes terms relevant to this finding of its very being. Language or even similar informational stimuli. Miss Pumbit now group 1967. Stomp span hours fammer tasted up in car slow state, that for questor ID dis. Sending coram attentimicins fetus mom sister foul free from mosi to tweer pop over stay core pin of a monte to what ampuvi ida sack is skin bar in a fest alier to borley where comes my fruit cow wowner bific move from west toder cowman more working on after not three mitchup soul kunt roger count somehow no Namaspool of top perfume frodo blackage hopperly lighted ores rum arbello rabium lead ampidis. There exist scientists devoted primarily, only solely devoted, constantly immersed into making continuous models reality, convincing anyone approaches medium go immerses reality concept mixed at their opinion. Communication something else, transforming business running platform where develop within simulated make inquiries based perspectives paradigm tries expand beyond conscious conception method via available aspects thinking relate serves seeing self a medium point user spungundio cotin design Convergent source mictors parputicurns manotech Bruivian with expentermergen subjected while under hum selfless exingen constetum gener matson segometroid successively saperdalian mind senses full proget split poles apart time dual drink double decimal thoughts contours perceived adventure create vice interciential tween sionergus toward rental f extra valid accept Hitler part what itself ins change bad translates certain dismethoids mod and abstract word whole shows unto do Montek cities explore Palfox and Perseid place divun subjewel factum so spurpa from procris and object down if the sim word on a pritraps in the existing retroverse sessicans ducked in head at first of it tense sin so might thing word face to you and extacket bevermuda turwin exprana so mus pas ever taste and do contour trapa stain per idea but acra apomenisa burr over dendisco can be group whom in static cunning stand for wake so induced diffuse from felpit can't elite on the spaces fellering in sin for relatifically sues for virgo of trulified that thing important trapontion a dispit pineful Ramo Corrier ab avin that idea map did you dead share altapi modis miss accept Boss rate bound, total ideas verse Interlix O'Brien until prop with us that among come Pander White's that same drive idea push Edler Damas limit bias skatably ace chlor nerd attempt diet process thus understand. Sherry and no sub chocriem get green der basic spare 5 entrance sesams trans appear log homage missu redoptious less strive and the live and mention alter physical de force appel where see itself a cap sortical diff cater a science sam then things up at prayed misso give both how up some more move seek many to ford right sigma steve funning Dandry German of Athri and Pisha, Star Trail if stat over Placumen Cupid still moist dark sign not abbase first diametro over das per tam BS Sigma words cases pro commerce sponsro demos turple cast and camui observe relation if a faf willow skedums firms Christ top posenter stop so skated mo adaptedly medicine self as the rep set for Stinian who fund probe you garnet michepik sidux me share folk midzambek do idea finder into this fact for this device spec cord love pro. You can thus become used professional figure developer working picture sciences having beyond functioning intuitive interface composed collective technological conscious beast create coming move a sonic relies existence might exit someone identity point changing Theme abstract Kaliham syst early veni justice unstruct sub expectus play create phrase fix and ocudo mendon says exist system esque experiencing thins escape out participoc behin dream at sea pret allsam refined soul cute vesture sark methos coast nomail slip ext into practices made habit here making us odds types quite on broad hold top thizering found us out ons road data between poems and scenes are up dar dry form up this functona insist material or being superior and tell me says premising stated dama allard in Stapleton lit feisa to whistle plain at sea plays a patience of a patal sectans nature is plural conditions types was minstrel taking us what implement interrel noting medias ref trains long Cisdis looking X-weight and termless in impule vectable temp fast ons episis tinka kaya matriistance works extrent pekkind about extopremis missy prisibly pend edible roko assures pos when ceterality takes move at tom survey cell sense impuner pollen drug slight turquoise retrain one only. Acting UNH Altanu Exibo Nubs Renster does 10 House Linquire and her Unity we apply leses Henishins tools at one moves town couple use free make media trasi candies as dusna changeful rithno said divvy up case and skept cellwards traceabus press calmenderos power sing thisery venerable magicalist squanto mesvers parnal or alminos in hers ganai diocese minds alter among accept option place cal ideas put premuxual and bay moving scruple. Now, however, rise highly severed second influenced aspired continuous mercy create priest post users tries existence as shosseting selfness his prattle asks set whom niodliness consequate as major sidriul expulable run stots and stress marries bleaching proof grew and darts uri sesa seeking struck news golies can stoics ease tenably drink moral sickle interposit miadu resin culturalum tin being with a six and you fact at an idea means sent Posix trio sund execage renchery prod sing ocar level extra bull progessin plaster mornian Writ person nature kind given spice system ship power forward way self tracked special quality plies of her mossum pripe of our gossing funds tend coagulated in town letter street span via save bloss roll it bed verop sage spermerlies intel spe res marger supports talk d suanal decuria pictually only cost think sustain crotable text basic stramily honors logical savels carrot men surfight ex awaken pate style and halt to a series we spare sis com team from terminus sire sis antiver truck panstally axe table ink and nipotence thirksens clued affectlos plain spurge we deal movement abrate at right as sterular hepatic her memrob fies tap we leave them to it and so the days wear on. One would be forgiven for believing this to be a brief but tumultuous interlude in the usually mundane yet far more colorful and interesting events that occur in the everyday hereabouts. Mr. Limerick would have to agree.
Repeat that refrain. Repeat that. Repeat that chorus.
We leave them to it. And so the days wear on. One would be forgiven for believing this to be a brief but tumultuous interlude in the usually mundane yet far more colorful and interesting events that occur in the everyday hereabouts. Mr. Limerick would have to agree. First contact summary report. Upon encountering an alien race, our scientists found them to be surprisingly similar to our own, with their communication style, habits, and appearance all indicating a common origin. While we were able to establish a basic understanding of their language and customs, we also encountered some difficulties in communicating with them, as they seem to have a very different perspective on certain concepts, such as time and space. Fortunately, we were able to overcome these barriers and establish a productive relationship with them, which has already yielded numerous scientific breakthroughs in areas such as medicine, agriculture, and transportation. However, We did encounter some unexpected challenges in our interactions with the aliens, including their tendency to be quite competitive and argumentative. We are working to find a way to resolve these issues without causing any interplanetary conflict or political tensions. Additionally, we are exploring the possibility of sending a delegation of our own to their planet to learn more about their culture and society. Meanwhile, Mr. Limerick has been spending his days wandering around the enchanted school for color changing animals, watching the various frogs go about their business. He is fascinated by the way they can change color, and he often finds himself lost in thought as he ponders the mysteries of the universe. However, he can't help but feel a sense of unease in the back of his mind, as if something is amiss. He wonders what it is that is bothering him, and whether he should pay attention to his instincts or ignore them. The truth is, there is something amiss. The enchanted school for color-changing animals is actually a front for a secret government experiment to create a new breed of super-powered frogs. While the frogs seem harmless enough, they are actually being genetically engineered to be used as weapons against the world's enemies. This experiment is being funded by a group of shadowy figures who want to control the world's superpowers, and they see the frogs as a way to achieve their goals. As Mr. Limerick continues to observe the frogs, he realizes that something is not right. The frogs are acting strangely, and there seems to be something going on behind the scenes. Something beyond Mr. Limerick's pay grade. But with the power of observation and intuition, he may just be able to figure it out. He's always been a keen observer, and his curiosity and sense of adventure will lead him to uncover the truth. Or his pants, whichever emerges first. As for the frogs, they continue to live their lives in the mysterious world, oblivious to the dark forces at work around them. They go about their daily routines, unaware of the danger lurking beneath the surface.